Hey guys, Marijka, Milton Public Library, back with you this week, and we are doing Realistic Week 2. So let's get started. So the first book that I have for you today is Sara and the Search for Normal by Wesley King. This book is a prequel to OCD Daniel. So you could either read that book first or this book, but they do go together. I don't know why, but generally prequels come afterwards, which seems weird but whatever. So this book is about Sara, and Sara is a 13-year-old girl who suffers from anxiety and panic attacks, and she's very, very desperate to cure herself, beat her illness, and become normal. So this book is really good at sort of giving a glimpse to people who do not suffer from any sort of mental illness into what it sort of is like, and help you understand a little bit more, because it's really hard to understand things that we don't personally experience. So this book just gives you a little glimpse into that. And then for people who do suffer from anxiety and panic attacks, this is a book that just helps you feel like, you're not alone, because it can be really scary. And sometimes, especially with anxiety, it makes you feel like you're the only one who's suffering it, so you have to do it alone. But that's not true. Millions of people have anxiety. So this is just a really great book about anxiety and panic attacks, and it is Sara and the Search for Normal by Wesley King. Okay. The second book that I have for you today is called Slider, and this book is by Hautman. So Slider follows David. And David has made a very, very terrible mistake. He has purchased on his mother's credit card for $2,000 a half-eaten hot dog. So this is a thing that sometimes happens when you make bids for things online that you don't fully understand. So he now must figure out how to pay his mother back before she figures out that he has purchased this half-eaten hot dog. Luckily for David, he is obsessed with food eating contests, which who isn't? So he decides that he is going to enter this big, huge contest, this pizza eating contest, and he's going to win the money, and he's going to pay back his mom. This is a laugh out loud book. David is the middle child in the family, and although I know that the stereotypical middle child thing isn't necessarily true, but it's really funny to read about in stories. So he believes he's only good at competitive eating. So he thinks for sure he's gonna, be able to get this in the bag. So it's a really funny journey of him trying to train for this competitive eating contest, and then, all while trying to keep this secret. So it's just a really funny book that then shows him along the way that he's good at many, many things, which everyone is. So that book is Slider, and it is by Hautman. The third book that I have for you today is called The Lonely Heart of Maybelle Lane, and this book is by Kate O'Shaughnessy. So this book is a really sweet but sort of, heart wrenching tale that follows this 11-year-old girl on this adventure in the summer. So Maybelle Lane records sounds. She is obsessed with sounds. So she records crickets and her mom playing the guitar, literally just any sound that she can. But her favorite sound that she has is a sound that she didn't even record. It was a a sound left on her mother's voicemail, and it is her father. She does not know who her father is. She has never seen him. So she hears on the radio the same like laugh that she has recorded that she knows is her dad. And she thinks that this guy has to be her dad. So lucky for her, he is part of this like singing contest in Nashville, and she has to go and sing, and she just knows once he hears her voice, it's going to be, you know, rainbows and unicorns, and he's going to realize that she's his daughter, and everything is going to be happy because that's how life works. But the problem is, in order to get that dream, is that she needs to get to Nashville, and there's no way her mother is going to go. So it just so happens that her mother has a job that she has to leave for. So Maybelle is given to a friend, and that friend has decided that she will take her to the singing competition. So this is just a really great story that obviously is funny and a little sad, because it's sad not knowing who your parents are. So that is The Lonely Heart of Maybelle Lane, and it is by Kate O'Shaughnessy. All right, the last book that I have for you today is kind of a different take on a story that we hear a lot about, or at least a different side of a story we hear a lot about. So this book is The Next Great Paulie Fink, and it is by Allie Benjamin. So, this book is about being different, feeling like an outsider, and bullying. But bullying from the bully's perspective, which is something that we don't necessarily get a lot in books. And I do think it is an important side to hear. So, Caitlin Breen is a 7th grader, and she has just moved across the country to a very new school. And as some of you may know, that is a really hard thing to do, especially in 7th grade. So she doesn't really know how to fit in. And so not only is this like a totally different school, it is a totally different school. So they like have goats that they take care of, and they learn about philosophers, and the kids take care of the like older kids take care of the younger grade kids at lunch and stuff. So I mean, it's just a completely different vibe than at normal public schools. So the 7th graders, though, keep talking about this kid who used to go to school there that they dearly miss, called Paulie Fink. And Paulie Fink played tricks and pranks and just made everything that much more fun for the kids. And so they decide that they need to find the next Paulie Fink. And they put Caitlin in charge of deciding who is going to be that, which is kind of funny because she didn't even know Paulie Fink. So Caitlin starts to learn more about Paulie, and then in learning more about Paulie, she starts to learn some more about herself. So it's just a really great story with a kind of fun take on it, and then a different perspective than what we normally see. So that is The Next Great Paulie Fink, and that is by Allie Benjamin. Okay. That is my 4 books for week 2. I hope that you think that they sound interesting and want to read them. And I will be back next week for week 3. You guys enjoy. Bye.